Hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday evening. And of all of the things we're still ready to go live. And that's the kind of leadership that we're under right now. Individuals that love what they're doing and are so hyped that they're ready to trade on holidays. That's a beautiful thing. You know, Mr. Rogers, Ms. Dyer, and myself participated in a meeting earlier today. We were just discussing with some individuals who were interested in looking at this IML opportunity. And we had this conversation. I had to admit that at certain points, I sat back and watched Mr. Rogers operate in that building, and I watched Ms. Dyer operate, and I really felt proud to be part of such an outstanding leadership circle. And I tell you of the wonderful things that were said by, quite frankly, all three of us. What I liked best was that it was obvious that everyone that was at that table, everyone that was with us, including Bishop Harold Rollison, everybody that was with us had a heart for people. Were individuals who spoke from a perspective of what can we do to help. There was no sales pitch. There was no here's what's right about IML. It was always a perspective of what can we do to help. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing what we should do more of, and that is just spending time appreciating So let me begin by making sure everyone can hear me okay? Excellent. So what I said was that the energy of you literally fuel us. You literally put us in a position where it gives us purpose. Every time we take a call, every time we take a question, every time we come onto Zoom, we do so with a commitment to all of you. And if you just pause for a second, and just look at all of the rectangles, maybe you'll understand why I get so excited when I see these rectangles, because I recognize that each one of these rectangles represents a group of individuals behind you who will benefit. They'll benefit based on you understanding this skill. They'll benefit with you sharing this skill. They'll benefit in a variety of ways, and I just wanted to stop for a second and just thank the leadership team for being who you are, for continuing to motivate me, and I'd like to thank all of you rectangles for also continuing to motivate me and for all that you're doing in the 23 hours that we're not here. All the things you're saying to other people, all the things you're saying to your children, all the activities you're participating in, which are making you a better person. I thank you for that. Now, I would like to ask a very unique question. I would like for anyone who was a cheerleader in high school or middle school, if you were a cheerleader at all, and on any level, if you were a cheerleader, can you please put in the chat that you were? I was, however you want to word it. I'd just like to know who amongst these rectangles was a cheerleader back in the dizzy. Cheerleaders, please put in the chat that you were a cheerleader. You thought you didn't do good, but look at me now. Is that a cheerleader that I hear? Okay, thank you. I could totally see that, Miss Ainsley. Now, Miss Ainsley, I'd like for you to do me a favor. I'd like to have a brief classroom participation. So you can either unmute your mic and answer my question, or you can type it in the chat. Sharon, I'd like, that doesn't count. I'm talking about real cheerleaders. I shouldn't have said that doesn't count. But I'm talking about you wore the uniform, you tried out, and they said, yes, you are one of the cheer leaders. So, but it's very interesting that you put that there, Sharon. We're going to come back to that in a second. So, Ms. Ainsley, will you please either unmute your mic or type in the chat what your main responsibility was in being a cheerleader? What was your main responsibility in being a cheerleader? This is not a trick question. I just want you to speak from the heart and tell me what your main objective or main role or main goal was in terms of being a cheerleader.
When I was a cheerleader, we were responsible for keeping the audience pumped up. We were also responsible for motivating the guys on the field and having spirit. That was the biggest thing that we did.
So if I'm hearing you right, you were responsible for motivating, you were responsible for encouraging, and you were responsible for, what was that last thing again?
I mentioned we motivated and encouraged the men on the field, and we had spirit. Spirit,
that was it, spirit. Oh, interesting, spirit. Now, has anybody ever thought about the fact that the word spirit is in the word?
Dr. Bythewood, this is Lady Cat. We can't hear you. Your audio broke up.
So obviously, give me one second. So obviously, I'm having some internet issues. But like my pastor used to say, the devil's a liar. We want this message to go forth, so we're going to continue. So what I was saying is that we've heard from an actual cheerleader that it's about motivating, it's about encouraging, and it is about inspiring, being in spirit. And think about how many times we've said over the last few calls that it's extremely important that when we are putting ourselves in a trading mindset, that we have our emotions to be in check, that our spirit needs to be good, that it needs to be peaceful, it needs to be loving, it needs to be in light, that we need to make sure that we're in a particular situation. This meeting that I talked about, here's something that Ms. Dyer said. She said, I did 10 trades yesterday, and I won on 9 of the 10 trades. Then she said, the trade that I did not win, I was distracted. So her spirit was not right. It was not imbalanced. There was something that kept her inspiration from being where it needed to be. So in the 9 situations in which she was in spirit, when she was encouraged, when she was motivated, then at that point she won. But then that one time when she wasn't, she was distracted, then she did. So tomorrow, I'm getting on a plane with my 9th grader and 8th grader to take them to Kentucky to play in a NCAA certified girls basketball. Now, it's my 9th graders team, I'm the coach of the team, and my 8th grader's been asked to go simply because the 9th grade team had 4 girls that either got hurt or weren't able to go. So that went from 9 to 6, that's a big deal. So that's 9 to 6, from 9 to 5. PhD in finance, but he's having trouble counting. So bottom line is, my 8th grader was excited about going, but she kept saying, well, Dad, we're going to be in Kentucky for 12 days. I want to have a best friend. I want to have a friend to go with me. So I said, no, this is a business trip. You don't take a friend to a business trip. But just tonight, we were at basketball practice for the 8th grade team. And her best friend on the team said to her, man, I wish I could go to Kentucky. And then it hit me. She could. I called her mom. I begged her to let her go with us. She said yes, bought her a plane ticket. Bam. My daughter is going with her best friend. Now watch this. I know that the trip is going to be better because sometimes we treat our best friends better than we treat our sisters. So I know that my youngest child, who, let's keep it real, she's certainly a baby girl, the trip is going to be smoother and more peaceful because she's going to have a best friend. And we normally love on our best friend. But sometimes we're a little hard on our sisters. Where is he going with this? This is a talk with the finance doctor. Is he going to connect this to what we're talking about tonight? He is. Sometimes we treat our best friends better than we treat our sisters. But rectangles, business partners, guests, individuals that are being their own bank, individuals that are in the paradigm of touching 1 million families, you know who we treat worse than our sister? Ourselves. Ourselves. Have you ever heard someone say, I am my own worst critic? Yes, you have. Have you ever heard someone say, I am my own best cheerleader? No, that's not even a thing. So Miss Ainsley was asked, she was sanctioned to put on a jersey and to represent the team. And she was told to encourage. And she was told to motivate. And she was told to inspire. Think about it. Think about this for 1 second. Just for a second, think about your best friend. I'm pausing on purpose. I want you to just think about how much you enjoy being with your best friend. When you put that best in front of friend, you do it for a reason. That's your best friend. That's the one you feel most comfortable with. Now, think about how you treat your best friend. Think about what you say to your best friend. Think about how you respond to your best friend when they do something wrong. Think about how you respond to your best friend when they're not feeling so good about themselves. I bet you do the same thing Miss Ainsley did. I bet you encourage them. I bet you motivate them. I bet you continue to stay in spirit with them. I bet you lift their spirits. But are you doing it to yourself? Are you being a cheerleader to yourself? Are you being your own best friend? Because when you recognize that being your own best friend, when you recognize that being a cheerleader for you actually makes you do better, I can remember distinctly playing quarterback at Jefferson High School in Tampa, Florida. And when I heard those ladies saying defense, defense, it made me position myself with a little bit more intensity. It made me focus. It made me want to make a big play because the girl said, defense, defense. I know when I'm a coach and we're trying to get back in a game or we're trying to get the momentum back, I will say to my bench, ladies, defense. And when they say defense, defense, we always get a big play every time because the cheering of defense pumps up the defense and makes them make a big play. Why not do the same thing when we make a big trade? Why not encourage ourselves? Why not motivate ourselves? Why not make sure that we're in the right spirit to be our own best friend when we trade? You know, I've been saying this for years. When you are mentoring, when you are speaking the word, when you are speaking spirit, your words are a rubber mirror. And they come out of your mouth and they bounce back in your face. So if I seem to be a little intense, it's because I'm not just talking to your rectangles, I'm also talking to my rectangle. Because we sometimes think that in our desire to be excellent, that means we have to criticize ourselves. Miss Ainsley was not asked to be a cheerleader so the team could be bad. She wanted the team to win. But look at her strategy. Her strategy was to motivate. Her strategy was to keep them in spirit, to inspire them. Now, I'm going to be very real with you on this part. Sharon Edgecombe is one of my favorite people. I love her. I love her heart. I love who she is. And she and I have had some very positive, powerful conversations outside of this Zoom. But I know it's not a coincidence that she put in the chat, I was the biggest cheerleader from the stands. But the reason why I'm talking about this tonight, the reason why I'm reminding you to be your own best cheerleader, the reason why I'm reminding you to be your own best friend is because of her words. Here's something I say to my life coaching clients all the time. We get caught up sometimes dealing with the process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Steps, reactions, things that happen. When in reality, there's only one thing that matters, and that's results. If we look at the results instead of the process, then we put ourselves in a better position. But don't we have to look at the process? Of course. What I'm saying is, when you let the results have more of your energy than the process, guess what happens? The process begins to take care of itself. As a professor, I have people say to me all the time, what's on the test? And I say, be careful when you focus on the process, focus on the result. The result is, I want to learn this material. I want to understand this. If you understand what this is, then the test takes care of itself. Because I know if they only focus on what's on the test, they'll only focus on the test. And then their shoulders will get tight and they'll end up performing more poorly. So I said all that to say this. Did you all hear my friend, my business partner, Sharon Edgecombe, put herself in a position where we all could learn? Because there's an old saying, if you spot it, you got it. Which means sometimes when you see a behavior of someone else, the reason why you see it is simply because you have it inside of you. The reason why you notice it is because it's a part of you. Maybe it's a part of you you're suppressing, maybe it's a part of you you're not cool with, but it has to be a part of you or you wouldn't even notice it. You spot it, you got it. Example of that, if I have 10 people look at a situation or a case and say, what are your views? There'll be 10 different views. Why? Because 10 different sets of experiences, 10 different sets of people, 10 different perspectives. So I said all that to say this. I heard Ms. Sharon Edgecombe ask a very good question. And the only thing she was trying to do was do what she does every time she asks a question, that's get better. She's good at that. She is really big. I want to get better. I want to put myself in the best position. But I heard her say 3 times, What did I do wrong? I heard her say, one time I was impractical. So I'm encouraging Miss Edgecombe, and I'm encouraging everybody else who heard that and processed that and realized that it speaks to you as well. You just didn't say anything because she was the one bold enough to ask the question. Are you being your own best friend? Are you being Miss Ainsley back in the day? Are you encouraging yourself? Are you motivating yourself? Are you keeping yourself in the right spirit? Because again, the question itself was very legitimate. What she was doing was seeking more insight and clarity on a trade. And by doing that, it puts her in a better position. But nobody told her she did something wrong. The trade didn't tell her she did something wrong. MetaTrader 4 didn't tell her she was doing something wrong. So she's the biggest cheerleader in the stands to others. But are we cheering for ourselves? Come on, don't act like this is about sharing that strong, because all of us do it. All of us are our own worst critics, when in reality, we're supposed to be our own best cheerleaders. We're supposed to motivate ourselves, we're supposed to encourage ourselves, and we're supposed to keep ourselves in the right spirit. So what if Ms. Edgecombe had said, can you tell me all the things I did right in the trade? I just couldn't go to sleep. I just couldn't go to sleep. I just couldn't go to sleep. Why? Why not? Because if we are totally being our own cheerleader, if we are totally encouraging ourselves and putting ourselves in the spirit, we can click modify and then go to sleep. Because we know that whatever happens, it's going to be an opportunity for us to be better. In profit, better. Growth opportunity, better. It's not what you go through, it's what you grow through. So what I'm saying to you right now is I'm reminding you that the best way to trade, the best way to succeed is to recognize that you are your own best friend. You are going to treat yourself the way you treat your best friend. You think about, let's be real for a second. For the past 24 hours, think about some things you said to yourself. Just 24 hours. I didn't say 24 days. I didn't say 24 years, 24 hours. Be real with yourself and think about some of the things that you said to yourself. And now ask yourself, would you talk like that to your best friend? We already know the answer is no, because if you spoke like that to your best friend, guess what? Your best friend would stop being your best friend. Your best friend will decide not to spend time with you anymore because nobody wants to be talked to like that. So then why are we talking to ourselves? I mean, Sherry Edgecombe, there's no way you could have made this any better, because you put in the chat on your own, I was the biggest cheerleader from the stands. I was the biggest cheerleader from the stands. I bet you when you were in the stands, being the best cheerleader, you weren't saying, what are y'all doing wrong? What are y'all doing wrong? What are y'all doing wrong? But you probably were saying, y'all are going to end up in the fight. We're going to win this game. Let's go. I'm motivating you. I'm encouraging you. I'm keeping you in spirit. And I know that Ms. Edgecombe is not the type of person at all to take any offense to what I'm saying, because A, she knows this is correct. B, she knows it's blessing others, including me. It's blessing others, including me. Now, I'm going to pause and do something unique on purpose. I'm going to ask, because I know I'm hitting a nerve right now. I know that people are being convicted by what I'm saying because it's true. I feel the collective energy that's a little heavy right now because I'm making some stuff come up to the surface. You know what? What if you have a pot and the pot's dirty? What do? Do you just start washing the pot? No, because that stuff is hard to come out. You soak it. And when you soak the pot, guess what happens? All the debris, all of the gunk, all of the built up stuff, it begins to float to the top of the pot. And once it begins to float to the top of the pot, guess what? Now it's easier to clean the pot. I know there's some heavy energy that's being felt right now. But the reason why it's heavy is because we just got some stuff that you've been holding on to, some stuff that hasn't been called out like it's being called out tonight, and it's just coming to the surface. So whatever it is you're feeling right now, feel that feeling, because in a minute you're going to watch the pot and it's going to be good as new. Your trading will be better tomorrow because I'm calling this energy out. Be your own best friend. Be your own cheerleader. Motivate yourself. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I ended in profit. So, Ms. Edgecombe, I'm going to ask you if you are willing and if you organically have something to say in response to this vicious attack for the betterment of the people, please unmute your mic and do so. So what I would like to do now is I would like to ask if there's anybody listening to this message that would like to give a testimony, that would like to express how this content made you feel or realize or any awareness that came out of it, can you please do so now? Unmute your mic and tell your story.
Hello, Dr. Bythewood.
Yes.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Who am I speaking with, sir?
This is Darius speaking.
How you doing, sir? Please.
I'm doing well. I'm really glad I was able to make the call tonight and get the information and hear the message. I actually struggled with that last night when I was practicing and working on my trades, and I went through this whole I don't want to go to sleep. I got work at 6 a.m. But I don't want to go to sleep because I don't want to miss what's gonna happen. And it took me an hour or two, but in the end I was just like, I set my modifiers up, and I was just like, all right, we're gonna see how this works. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I trusted in that. I woke up. There was a win for me, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep trying to move in that spirit. So this was like right on time for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really do appreciate that, and congratulations on the win, and I wish you many more. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'm sorry, what did you say, sir?
Oh, I was just saying thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Would anybody else like to share? Would anyone else like to share? So I do want to reiterate that to truly interpret this message correctly, we need to understand that this is not about sharing it, because we hear people speaking like this all day. She's not even the only person that spoke like that on this call. It's just about the situation that I felt close enough to her that she would allow me to let her be the Jesus in this situation and let me sacrifice her story, her situation, her words, so that we could grow from it. And please also remember that I expressed to you that I do it as well. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to quickly recap that Ms. Ainsley organically told us that it was her job. She was sanctioned by that team to encourage, to motivate, and to keep up their spirits. So on this team, this Be Your Own Bank movement, in this international markets live situation, in this educational platform, this opportunity for us to be able to learn more and to grow and to develop this skill that we'll have for the rest of our lives, we want to do the same thing with our team. We want to encourage our team. We want to motivate our team. We want to keep our team spirits high. And it has to come from the inside out. It has to come from the inside out. When I'm counseling my daughters, I tell them all the time, you have to treat your sisters better than you treat anybody else. If you find yourself treating someone better out there, come back and just make it be organic and do it from the inside out. You know what? I didn't respond that way to my sister. Let me go back and do that to her. And now you'll have even more friends that are going to come into your circle. And they've come to me and told me, Dad, that works. I did something nice to someone and realized I didn't do it to my sister. And I came home and did it to my sister. And I met 2 friends the next day. And I really liked it. So it works. So we have to do this from the inside. The number one team, the person on your team, your Michael Jordan, the one on the team that you like the best, that you're going to start first, has to be you. So this is a reminder to all of us that as we continue to put ourselves in the mindset of being our own banker, as we continue to touch these 1 million families, let's do it from the inside out. Let's be easy on ourselves. Let's love on ourselves. Let's treat ourselves better than we treat anybody else. Let's ask ourselves, what did you do right? What did you do well today? What were your successes? Let's encourage ourselves, motivate ourselves, and keep our spirits up. And Ms. Ainsley, thank you so much for your answer, because it literally created the content for this message that I know is touching more than the individual that spoke. I'm telling you, it's touching me. I'm certainly reminding myself of something. But thank you all for allowing this message to come forth. And Ms. Edgecombe, thank you so much for allowing me to talk about this situation. Thank you so much, Sonia. So, one more time, are there any questions, comments, or testimony? So keep in mind that we will reconvene 1 week from now. And I really appreciate everyone's attention. And I'm now going to end this call and turn it back over to our host and or host.
Wow. Dr. Bythewood, when you just don't think it can get any better, as always, this call was so powerful. So I just want to thank you for what you do and what you bring to the table and this BYOB movement and what you are to this family. Because tonight's call was so powerful. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have these power-packed evenings. This is why from 9 o'clock to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, these evenings are so powerful. And this is the foundation. This is the platform. This is for you. And if you have not gotten registered, what you want to do right now is go to byobchallenge.net. And I'm going to put it in the chat for you. byobchallenge.net. Get registered, because if you've been impacted, you've been empowered, you've been inspired, has this touched you in any way? You want to take this to the next level? The Leadership and Development Conference that is coming to Jacksonville, Florida on July the 20th. You want to be registered. Click that link. Get registered. You want to make sure that you are registered. byobchallenge.net. I promise this is not an event that you want to miss. This is an event that you want to be present for. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me. I was ready to be here trading live. Now, that trade that we took, this is why it's important to be on this call. This is why I was so excited. The trade that we took actually went for 19 pips. It's important to understand your entry points. It's important. It's all about the proper entry point. It's all about the proper execution. So make sure you plan your week out. Make sure you're ready. Be ready for next Tuesday. Be ready to be in the place so you can catch pips with us. The BYOB cash out strategy. It is literally a 92% accuracy rate. I'm excited. I'm excited. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. On Sunday night, we will meet you back here. You're creating distribution centers. You're creating ATMs. I will meet you back here Sunday night at 8 p.m. With that, enjoy your holiday. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful and blessed evening. Get registered. The link is in the chat. And have a wonderful and blessed evening. And this will officially conclude our call.